NFL Network's Ian Rapoport talking about the Browns' trade for Tytus Howard.
These trades, you mentioned them, certainly did not exist in a vacuum. You had the first one, which was the Tytus Howard going to the Cleveland Browns to bolster an offensive line that they very, very badly need to improve. When I talked to Todd Monken, their head coach, said improving in the trenches was their most important thing. Big piece here with Tytus Howard, who gets a new deal. But for the Houston Texans, it really wasn't just getting the fifth-round pick. It was also clearing this money off the books. Remember, they have the Will Anderson contract extension coming up as well. They needed to kind of clear for that and also add some draft pick compensation and then use some of that, not perfect match, but use some of that to then trade for David Montgomery.
So welcome in Fred Greetham, senior analyst for the Orange and Brown Report. Fred, reaction to Tytus Howard. It's a guy that kind of middle of the pack for starting right tackles, which is a huge upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, after last year and the last couple of years, the offensive line, either injury or underperforming, just was at the bottom of the NFL. I mean, it showed, obviously, the quarterback play and the whole ball wax, but as far as to score 16 points a game last year and 15 the year before, which was 32nd and 31st in the NFL, something's got to change. And you got to start somewhere. And so these are the type of moves that Andrew Berry likes to make. You know, find a guy that is at the point where he's going to be a free agent and another team doesn't want to pay him and make a trade, you know, for a low draft pick. I think it was a 5th-round pick that they got for Kenny Pickett. So, you know, basically you flip Kenny Pickett for a starting right tackle. I think you'd take that any day. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another one or two of these because the Browns aren't a destination place for free agents on offense, quarterbacks or wide receivers. They tend, you know, in free agency, they go to usually the highest amount of money. So the Browns would have to get in a bidding war with any offensive lineman that becomes available, or wide receiver or quarterback or whatever. So this makes a lot of sense to me as you're mining the personnel that you feel like you can get a guy, and they must have felt really good about him, you know, to give him the extension and so forth. So, you know, I think it's a great start. I think he'll play right tackle. The money he's getting is tackle money, but he started at guards. He can play pretty much anywhere in the offensive line, you know, as well, except maybe center. But, you know, I think that's great. You know, we've seen how many injuries on the offensive line. This guy's been pretty durable. So I think it's a great start.